So this is a man that has made 545 appearances for Manchester United. It's a lot when you think about it. A 12-year spell, won 8 major trophies with the club, including the Premier League, the FA Cup, 2 League Cups, Europa League. He got Sir Matt Busby Player of the Year 4 times, PFA Team of the Year 5 times. Now, I've brought this in because I take a lot of flack for giving this man some stick. No, I'm just wondering from them. Have you managed to get it? There is another clue there, but I know you get it straight away. So go on. Have you guessed?
Tell me,
and then I give it.
Tell me what the other clue is.
All right, okay. So he got Premier League Golden Glove twice, 2017 and 2022.
Okay.
So from that, the man that we're talking about is.
I thought it was David De Gea, and it is David De Gea, right?
It is
because
David De Gea.
I got it when you said about the how many Player of the Seasons he'd got. But yeah.
So Nathan, on that name drop, I would like to tell me, is David De Gea overrated or underrated?
Oh, I think
yes.
So it is a good one. It is a good one. I do like this one. I do like this. I'm going to say underrated. I'm going to say David De Gea was underrated for Manchester United. I know what your opinion is on him. We spoke about him at length many a time. But the reason for me is that he played, and you have to remember this, he played in some terrible Manchester United squads.
Yes, he did.
In some terrible Man United squads. And I feel like he deserved better. I feel like he deserved to be like in squads that were challenging more, that were more robust, that weren't so shaky in front of him. And the reason why he got so many accolades was because he came to our rescue so many times. You know, he always popped up with a save, whether it was with his legs, whether it was like top corner save. And I think one of the reasons why I think he's underrated, and I think like the recency bias kind of makes him seem like he was a bit shaky and not very good, is because of that trend that, let's remember, the trend of sweeper keepers is gone. It was a thing for about 2 years. Now that's over. Competent goalkeepers is all you want right now. So that era is gone. So what Dave was getting in terms of the slander was whether or not he could kick it. And he wasn't very good at that. Would he struggle with this new tactic now with Arsenal? Yeah, he absolutely would. But you would hope that the defenders that are in the box with him are able to be savvy enough to do something about it and to be able to protect him. But in terms of what he did for Manchester United and the teams that he played in, so you got the full picture, yeah, I think he's underrated. He got the awards, he got the accolades, which would suggest that he was well rewarded for everything that he did for Manchester United. But no, David De Gea was underrated for me.
Not having it at all. No, you know my thoughts on De Gea, and I'm not going to completely bash him. You know, when you look at those stats and you look at everything that he has won and the amount of appearances, you don't get to beat United for 545 games and be completely garbage, do you? But I called him Pan Hands Dave, didn't I? Because everything just bounced off his hands. I'm not doubting he made some world-class saves. I'm not doubting he did have some very, very good appearances. But you can literally go on YouTube now and you can get a 10-minute clip of the mistakes that he made. And that's what infuriated me, is the fact that, all right, goalkeepers have mistakes here and there. De Gea made some absolute stinkers. So, yeah, I get what you're saying. He played in some poor teams. He has to take a lot of the blame for some of the mistakes that he made. And I don't think he was very commanding. With De Gea, look at 12-year spell. He had 3 or 4 years where he was too weak. He was young. He was brought in very, very young money from Atletico Madrid. And he wasn't physical enough for the Premier League. I think his shot stopping got him out of a lot of issues, but everything else, players would just lump it on him from corners. Same that they did with Onana and things like that. So he had 4 years where he wasn't, and then he had a 3 or 4 year spell where he was probably, well, obviously according to what he's won, world class. And then I think he had another dip where he just fell off completely. And it was this pass back. He's not good enough at kicking. His kicking, you played it. His kicking was atrocious, let's be honest. The amount of times he just boot it out of play, and I'd be shouting at the telly like an idiot. What are you doing? Why are you just kicking it out of play? Because he wasn't comfortable, and then teams would play on that. But for him to get what he's got, he's done well with his career. But I'm still saying overrated, Nathan, because he was nowhere near the likes of Petr Cech, let alone David Seaman, Peter Schmeichel, Oliver Kahn, Buffon, Toldo. I could probably name 40 goalkeepers that were better than David De Gea. So that's that's my opinion. I mean, even if you think back to like Courtois, people like this, top class, and De Gea for me was never ever anywhere near them type of players. But he has won things. I'm going to stick with calling him Panans Dave because that was my nickname for him. And yeah, for me, overrated.
But I think you're right. But then he was a shot stopper. That's what he was good at. It was the reflexes that made him the goalkeeper that he is. It wasn't the commanding of the area. That's a very different type of goalkeeping prototype. So it's not like he was ever going to do that. He was like a mouse of a man. I never felt like there was any fear with him, but he needed someone that was in front of him that was gonna be the captain, the leader, the one that was shouting and things like that. I don't know. I think he's looked upon unfairly because of, as you say, you can make a bad compilation about anyone. You go onto YouTube and look up like Ronaldo, you'll be able to find a compilation of all of his misses. I'm sure someone could clip us up and get all of the
Oh,
ums and
easily.
ahs and the problems that we've had with remembering names or the trying to remember news that we'd read 2 minutes before we'd come on the show. Do you know what I mean? So I respect your opinion. Obviously, like if you thought he was a bad goalkeeper, then that's your opinion on it. But for me, given the squads that he played in, and I don't think he played in terribly good teams. I think De Gea was probably underrated, and I think in as time goes on, we'll look back on his period as a Manchester United player, and we'll do so favourably.